Hey everyone, it's time for Backyard Bliss times 2. We're doing another layout with this great paper pack. I'm excited to show you some cool things, hopefully a little different look, a little different technique for you, and get you excited about this paper pack. So let's get creating. So let's do a little prep work. I'm going to take my other dirty sheet I had for the layout, and I have some flowers and some buttons, and these are all off of this die cutting sheet that I talked about earlier. I just thought it was really cute, and I just wanted to just punch up the colors a little bit. So we're going to use papaya, and we're going to use some ballerina. So papaya is going to be really dark, so I'm going to make sure that I have some of my color off. This is in that paper pack. Trying just to smush it, dab it, and I'm using the sponge daubers. The last video I showed you, I used my sponge that I cut in quarters, and I don't think I told you that. It's a round sponge that we sell that I just chopped in quarters. I just find that that works for me, but I also like the sponge daubers when I'm trying to get a look. So on this one, I'm going to make the edges a little bit more dark than the inside. I hope that's what I'm going for. So I have, and you know, flowers are not always perfect. So just adding, building some color, lightening it up a little bit, kind of pulling in towards the middle so that I don't have such an ombre look, if that makes sense to you. It's more of a natural. Just touching the edges. And I think I'm going to do the same thing with this one, almost like you were sponging the edge of a paper, just to give it a little look. So I'm going to close that up for right now, and then I'm going to go to ballerina. And I don't know about you, but if I don't put my sponge on my ink pad, I will inadvertently use the wrong ink or sponge, or both. Doesn't take much to change that up. So this is, I think I told you, but just in case I didn't, it's ballerina. And just adding a little bit pink, more pink to this. And this one I'm kind of being really heavy-handed. One, it's a lighter color, and I want it to pop. So we have a couple of those, and set that aside, set that aside. And somewhere in here I have a sapphire, and I am, hopefully this is my sapphire. No. That's Capri. That's green apple. That's toffee. What color was this? That might be my sapphire. Well, it is now. And I'm just taking these buttons and adding some color. Kind of making them a little bit darker. Just adding layers of ink. So there you go. Now, where to put this so I don't mess it up. All right. So I'm going to set these aside for right now. And hopefully don't forget that I have them. But we're going to talk about our paper and our layouts. So when I was creating this layout, I had these strips. I have cut them. They're 1 3/4 by 9 1/2. And I liked the look. So 3 of these are Backyard Bliss and 2 of these are mix-ins, because you know I'm a big fan of mix-in paper pack. And I was trying to figure out what color I wanted to build my layout on. I knew I didn't want white, because white, this will be, it'll get lost. It's not vibrant enough to carry white, if that makes sense. So I thought, okay, well, let's play with mocha. So this is mocha, and I know it's probably hard to see, but this is the original side. Yes, this had me going there for a minute. This is the original side. And I wanted to see what these look like laying on mocha. So I'm just laying these strips out. Just so I actually laid these out. It was towards evening, so it was a little bit duskier in my house, sort of say. And I turned my light on, and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm really liking. There's nothing wrong with the mocha. I really like the mocha. And I'd walk by, and honestly, it was laying on my work table. I kept walking by, looking at it, walking. I'm like, wow, I think I'm going to do it in mocha. And then I got up the next morning, and I looked at it, and I'm like, it's a little too fall for me with the mocha background. Now, maybe for you, you're liking the mocha, and you're like, oh, nope, I'm staying with mocha. I want it mocha. So I thought, okay. So then I played with some other colors just to see how, and I took the colors out of here. So I did pine. Pine was too dark. Papaya, again, wasn't really hunky-dory on it. I tried a tan. Again, it was like white. It got too washed out. And then I tried sapphire, because sapphire is one of the colors in here. And I'm like, okay, now this really makes, I don't know about if you can see this, but to me, it warms up the paper. It makes it exciting. But I'm like, again, it's a little heavy in the color. So let's try this. Let's take it and flip it over, and let's look at it with the lighter version. Now, this is where you can choose to say which way you want it to go. And for what I want to create, I liked this a little bit softer look. Nothing wrong with any of the colors I showed. If you liked it the way it was, go for it. That's what this is all about. This is what makes it stand out and be unique to you, okay? So I already told you these are 1 3/4 by 9 1/2. And so I am going to take, and I'm actually going to put this on first. At the bottom of the stickers, at the sticker sheets, excuse me, they have these borders. And I want to put them, I'm going to lay this out, and I'm not really tacking it. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Oh, I didn't want it to tack down. But if you're quick, you can kind of get them up without too much damage to your paper. If you're quick. And then it sticks to my work surface. Okay, so let's do this. Let's put this back right where it is. Come on. Okay. Oh, do not wander yourself. Okay. And I am again going to do it at the between the 1/2 inch and 1/4 mark, so that I can and it's a little deceiving because it's the way it lines up, okay? And then now I'm going to, and when you see this in the actual layout, the cutting guide, you definitely could corner round these, but you could definitely make them into squares. Banner cuts. Oh my goodness, I'm a mess today. Banner cuts, and then that's strictly up to you. But for this one, I think I'm leaving it a little bit more square. And again, I am just making sure that I know where I want these to be. And I'm trying to get this so I have the right amount. So that's too big. And I know that because I already have my photo sheet going. Oh, it's not as big as I thought. Okay. So I'll just place these out a little bit better. Okay, so let's add should have put my sticky on here, I think. I'm gonna go almost to the 1/2 inch mark and the 1 inch mark. How does that make that sound? And I am going to do the other side also. So I am doing both ends. And I'm doing that so that I can fill in the middle. Does that make sense? This is an old ruler that I've had. That's why I can't wait for that T-square. I think that T-square is just going to be amazing ruler. If you have one and are fortunate to have one, kudos to you. I can't wait. The nice thing about the T ruler, it tees up there and then you line it up. Oh, yeah, it's going to be cool. Okay, so now I am going to fill in my middle pieces. And I am going to try to see if I can give it a good 1/2 inch in between. For you that do that math stuff, you probably have this all figured out. I'm not quite mathematical that way. And then we're going to just add this and make it even between there. How does that look? Looks pretty cool. I'm excited about that. I like the border on the bottom. I like the placement of this, okay? So I already showed you that I have, and oh, I should tell you, this is a 4 3/4 by 10.5. But again, I'm going to show you that cut so you can see. And actually, I believe when when you look at it in the cutting diagram, I believe I added a 1/2 inch. I will double check that when I show it to you, because I wanted to make sure I could space out my photos a little better. And notice I used the softer side here, and again on the photo mount I used the original side, so the little bit darker. So depending on what photos you want, you might want to swap that. Maybe your photos are really dark and you want that lighter side as a background, then make your background base page the dark and make your photo placement the light side, if that makes sense, if you get that understanding of how that looks. Okay, happy with this. So let's, on this sticker sheet, we have some fun little banners, and let's just maybe I want them to come down here. We'll see what we can do here. See if this is going to work. Kind of committed. I've stuck them down, right? Oh, there's always a way. There's a will. Kind of just draws your eye to a little bit of fun. I think I'm going to end with this softer green. I really don't have much red there. Yeah, see, look at how cute that is. And I think, where's my spatula? I think I'm going to lift this one up without hopefully tearing the paper. Sometimes you just have to lay them out a little bit to see what you want. Just to give it a little big look, a better look. How about that? A little big look, a little better look. And then this one, hopefully, yep, it should be okay. So voila. So we're going to do some fun of these little tiny sayings just to add some contrast. I think I need one more. Let's do plant smiles. So we have those three. And then let's get melon. I think I am going to add some. These are the new dots. They're in the melon. And the nice thing about melon is the color of the year. The nice thing about these is in this version you get all melon. The other ones get a little bit of you get 3 colors in one, is what I'm trying to say, that I'm spitting out here like not doing well. And I'm just going to use just these little dots just to give it kind of like an action point, if that makes sense. Like that. And then let's take the little stars and we'll put some stars in here. Oops. Oh, that came off. Stars. It's gonna be one of those days. Stars. Okay. So there we got a little bit of melon on there. Okay. Now, where are my little flowers? We're going to take that, and I think these. Yep. I'm just going to add some glue dots. One package of glue dots. And just kind of overlapping, adding some texture. I think I'm just gonna throw a leaf in here, a little branch. Put that up like that. And then we have that. And I think trying to decide. Oh, there it is. I'm going to add a melon to that. So again, we have our eye going in a triangle pattern when we're creating this fun layout. So totally I'm enjoying that. And again, it's not heavy on the gardening. It could be any pictures. It's really open. So let's get that next page built. And again, we're using this lighter side. And again, we have the strips. This time you only need 3. And now I lost where these go. So they're gonna go here, 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 and we're gonna do the same thing with the sticker sheet. We're gonna lay this down, which is fun. It gives you that fresh border without having to do all the work. Oh, I don't know if I can do this one. Might have pushed too hard on this. I'm gonna try to get this up to a certain point without bringing the paper too much. Okay, that's better. Okay. It's kind of deceiving because that paper is the pattern, it kind of lends itself to go uphill. And I'm just going for a reference point. Remember what I do. This is a great way to have fun with your layouts. It doesn't take a full sheet of paper. Sometimes we have those extra pieces that not sure what to do with. We don't have enough for a full page, but yet look at strips. They work. They're ready to go. I'm standing over this trying to make sure it's hard. The phone's right there, so it's hard for me to see how it's floating. Okay, so what are we going to do on this one for photo mats? So we're going to do, and again, I did them on the dark side. So these are going to be individual photo mats. Like this, and you're like, whoa, 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 that kind of gets lost there. Hold tight, we got it coming. Let me put these down so I don't forget where they're going. My little handyman out there is washing my windows while I create this, so if you're hearing a weird sound, that is what it is. I appreciate that he does that. Okay, so let's make sure that these have some action to these photo mounts. So I'm going to attach them. And I am squeezing into the middle because I'm going to do something on these sides. So this pattern is one of the PML cards that I trimmed up. And I'm going to stick it and squeeze it in there. And it's just 3/4 of an inch, not much. And then I have a zip strip that I'm going to put in there. I just wanted to make sure. And just so for a reference point, it's about 4 3/4. So it is a little longer than the photo mat, but it gives you, draws your eye. See what the difference it makes? See, it really makes your eye come to life in that point. Let's see. I think I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to put it a little bit closer to the inside, and I'm going to drop it down so it's below that. And the same thing, PML card that I think is a great use, because there's some wonderful patterns on those PML cards. They just bring life to the party. Okay. And then stick this in here. So voila, la la la, that looks crooked. Okay. There we go. So there's the base of what we want to do. Okay. So now let's see. We still have some flowers. And we have some buttons. Okay, so let me grab, put a sticker down. I'm going to put a flower down. And I'm going to put a button down. Okay, and then we're going to do this all over again. We're going to add a flower. And I'm making sure that I put it so I can still tuck my, photo in there. Does that make sense? And I'm going to tuck this under. Then we're going to add one more button. Tuck that under also, okay? So then let's add some melon. Not much, just a little bit. Just to continue with the other page. And then I think I'm gonna stick this beautiful dragonfly. And I'm going to do a little bit more right there. So voila, there is layout 2. So let me show you the cutting diagram. It's in the same pattern, so pattern book 5. And here is the cutting diagram. So here's what I talked about in the first one. They have this photo mount pretty tight, and I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. They have added a strip that I chose not to use, but that is strictly depending on how you lay it out and how you want it to look to get that grouped go. And I added the little strips behind these two. And And then you can see here it is with the dovetail and the dovetail. And here it is in just flat. And that's what I chose to use. But it's a very, like I said, it's a great way to have fun with this paper pack. Okay, so let me show you the finished look when, so there's page 1. You can see all the fun in it. And then here's page 2. And then try to do this together. And do it that way. So you get that cute, fun look to add and make your photos just come alive on the page. Happy crafting. Again, everything's on the website, but hopefully you already got your backyard bliss, and can't wait for you to post your photos and your layouts. And maybe not your photos. I'd love it if you did photos, but as you can see, I don't have photos on mine either yet. So let me see what you did. Let me see what papers did you choose. So have fun, ladies. Bye now.